What's up? My name is Frogish, and welcome to froglog number 0. So, to quickly clarify, this is a devlog, or a vlog, whatever, a weekly update, and the reason why it's called a froglog is because, I needed to add a little bit of spice to the name, because nowadays, you gotta do as much as you can to stand out in the sea of other programming YouTube channels. And in these froglogs, I plan on putting game updates, things I've been working on, other random shit that don't exactly make up their own video, and I'll do this whenever I need to. Consider them to be pretty much a weekly or so update along with other stuff. Now, this froglog specifically is focusing on my plans on recreating a video game I had previously made for a class. To start, we need to go back to around November of 2021. I was in my computer engineering class, and my teacher assigned us with making a game. Of course, it wasn't just any game, no, that'd be too easy. We were tasked with making a game in Game Maker 8.1, the now very defunct 2011 Game Maker game engine, which, I remind you, is a game engine severely lacking many online features and tutorials. So this was not going to be easy. I had never made a game before, but I now had motivation to, since after all, it was an assignment I needed to complete. I had to do this or else I would fail or, not do well. Either way, I found myself working in the engine rather quickly. I had thought up an idea near instantly. I was going to make a bare bones Legend of Zelda inspired game. This game would feature my teacher in the title because it was apparently quite popular to incorporate his name into the game titles. Now, for sake of anonymity in this video, thus the legend of Mr. Smith was born. The game development actually went by surprisingly well. I had the main functionality completed by the first day. I had the movement, a sword stab, and an enemy you could kill, albeit this enemy didn't really have any real AI other than moving up and down on the screen, basically. The problem is, this is pretty much all I will have completed for the next few days. All that followed was very, very slow progress, where I decided on what to implement, how to structure the game, very technical things. It was pretty slow because I had to make up my mind on what I wanted to do. We had a week to complete this game, which I figured was plenty of time. Eventually, the weekend rolled around and I had structured and planned the game's route. Spoiler alert, I had to cut out a lot because I didn't have enough time. It was now Saturday, 2 days from the deadline and the first day I planned on working. I woke up at around 1:30 p.m., which is about 5 hours later than I expected to. First thing I thought was, well, I still had to make the most of the time I still had. I worked, and I kid you not, that entire day, from after I had ate breakfast to near midnight on this game. I was borrowing sprites from opengameart.org and following tutorials like a goddamn machine. I eventually finished around half of the game's functionality by midnight, and I took a much needed break before getting ready for bed. The next day I woke up, and this day it got serious. I woke up on time, and I got straight to work. This entire day, which was my last day, I was constantly checking the time, panicked and rushing to get everything done. I had worked from the time I woke up near constantly until 2 in the morning, which, I remind you, was on a school night. Everything had taken a lot longer than I was expected or prepared for. In addition to making this game fully completed, I had to add a soundtrack. And by adding a soundtrack, I mean borrowing other sounds and soundtracks from previously existing games. In addition to this all, I had to make a manual to go alongside with the game, but luckily I managed to finish it the morning before leaving for school since it wasn't really a big hassle. I had finally done it. I submitted it and went along with the rest of my day. After coming home from school, I showed my friends and they enjoyed it. I figured that I had at least succeeded somewhat if they enjoyed it. Fast forward a few weeks, and to say the least, I was a bit bothered when I received my mark. You see, I had lost a mark. Only one, which arguably is not a big deal. However, the reason I lost the mark was a bit irritating. As much as I could decipher my teacher's borderline doctor's cursive, I found that he removed a mark because he wasn't aware you could kill the slimes. What? I was pretty frustrated considering in my manual I wrote the day before, I deliberately outlined how the standard slimes took 2 inputs to kill. I mean, that's about as clear as I could have wrote that you can kill slimes if it takes 2 hits from the sword for them to die. I eventually was planning on confronting him with this, but I never did, and I know it's my fault, but to save myself some slack, I like this teacher, and I didn't really want to seem ungrateful for my mark, and I didn't really want to get on his bad side, since after all it was only 1 point. I decided to swallow my pride and just lay with it. I mean, I didn't really want to go through the effort. Now that everyone is caught up with my past, my ambitions, my dreams, my aspirations, my future, I want to outline my plan of remaking this game. But this time I plan on doing it in a proper game engine with more than just a week of time. Probably making the game fully from scratch. Of course, you know, probably some tutorials here and there or borrowed stuff, but yeah, generally from scratch. For this game, I'm gonna pick good old Unity for the game engine. This is for 2 specific reasons. Generally, Unity has lots of good documentation and online tutorials, and I know that for my first game, it's gonna be very important to find resources for it because I am not a pro at this type of stuff, so definitely a pro for me. And the second reason is because Unity is a really strong engine that has lots of powerful features for both 2D and 3D games, because I do plan on making both types of games, just maybe not immediately, but I at least want to have the option open to me for the future so I don't have to visit a completely new engine. I was struggling on deciding a game engine, but I decided that the most important thing would be picking one and sticking with it, and that carefully analyzing and choosing one wouldn't really help me in the end. It would just delay my progress. Anyways, I don't have really a lot of progress to show other than basic movement because, like I said, I'm still learning Unity. This is going to be my first solo game. And in addition to all that, I'm also working on another different Unity game with my friends, which hopefully will release. It's about an ostrich running away from a zookeeper. It's going to be a cool little platformer. If it gets made, hopefully it does. I hope to post another froglog about this sometime in a few days regarding either the Friends game or the remake game, whatever it may be. Hopefully I'll have worked on either since then. But to leave this video off on a pleasant note, let me announce the new game's title. Drumroll please. Unannounced Legend of Mr. Smith remake game. Pretty ingenious, right? I think it rolls right off the tongue. I hope you guys liked the video. Please consider subscribing or liking. It would greatly help my channel. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Peace.